Hello and welcome to From No Crypto to No Crypto. This is Blockchain Wayne bringing you another cryptocurrency podcast. Today's episode is brought to us by Concierge Club, mobile private key wallet and point of sale solution. Concierge Club makes purchasing easy, safe, and the overall process more efficient while costing less, helping to make cryptocurrency mainstream. All right, let's dive in. Look at the market update. And what do we see? Fireworks, guys, fireworks. Bitcoin in the last few hours has jumped up over 3%. Most of the market is green right now as we look at a lot of fireworks happening. This was something that we wanted to see. We're seeing volume starting to pick up in Bitcoin. And Bitcoin has recently was forming an ascending triangle, which is a bullish pattern that you see when you're looking at charts, which indicates a potential break to the upside. And that may be what we're seeing, which is validating that indicator. So a break above 7,000 will confirm that. Every time a stop run happens, it looks like buyers were scooping up the price. As price action was looking to be forced down, it was not happening. Price action was standing solid. So that's what it looks like happening now, and now breaking through that, broke through that resistance of 6,800. So let's move along and look at what is in the news today in the cryptocurrency space. First up, Fujitsu backs IOTA as a new protocol standard for audit trails, and the market reacts positively. So what happened? Japanese ICT conglomerate Fujitsu is launching an IOTA-based proof of concept for audit trail processes in the manufacturing industry, according to an official notice released August 25th. So the notice basically states the company will use IOTA's protocol as an immutable data storage medium for audit trails across industrial production environment and supply chains, with the aim to improve transparency, data trust, and data security. So IOTA's price at the time of this article being written that I posted on our Facebook page was up about 13% to 60 cents. And as of right now, it's up 20% in the last 24 hours at 67 cents at the time of recording this podcast episode. IOTA takes a different approach to the blockchain. Instead of using blockchain technology, uses a technology called the Tangle network, where each transaction verifies the prior transaction, which is why it gives it that Tangle outlook. There's been some pros, some cons, a lot of critics to this type of technology, but there's also a lot of backers, a lot of supporting. Whereas it's going to take us long term, who knows? But it is some short-term bullish news for IOTA. Next up, so the next Bitcoin gold rush is brewing, but it's not in a place you might expect. So in a journalist piece I was reading recently, Rand Nooner, who's a blockchain investor and host of Crypto Trader on CNBC Africa, goes on a tour, one of the nation's poorest townships, Kailashitsa, South Africa, where they explain it could be the true epicenter for the cryptocurrency revolution, not to mention the next potential gold mine for institutional amateur investors alike. Now, I've heard many stories of cryptocurrency adoption in Africa, many for reasons you may not think of. We think of, many people in developed countries are thinking this is going to stop the corruption in the banks, or maybe stamp out a lot of banks, period. But that's not what's happening in Africa. You already have a big group of unbanked people, where you see many of the government issued currencies in those African countries are so grossly inflated. I know a story of an Uber driver in Las Vegas who is originally from Zimbabwe, and for the last couple of years he's been sending his mother back in Zimbabwe Bitcoin because the currency in Zimbabwe is useless, it's worthless. So what she has done is created an ecosystem of Bitcoin where she's able to go into merchants and pay for different supplies and things that she needs using that Bitcoin, creating their own economy outside of any kind of government control or government regulation. This is why you're seeing a lot of adoption taking place in Africa. More to come when you look at that, but definitely that is driving adoption of cryptocurrency in Africa. All right, moving along. Next in the news, Binance is back in the news. They've introduced an incubation program that's going to support early stage startups with the exchange's resources to help jumpstart the ideas. The Binance Labs incubation program is a 10-week on-site program designed to help teams deliver a product or service with a market fit. It provides each venture with $500,000 in seed funding in exchange for 10% of their equity. Sounds like an episode of Shark Tank, but it's not. But Binance is very smart to make this move, as they can get a piece of many emerging companies, and that 500,000 for 10% equity could turn to be huge on different projects that may take off. It offers access to mentors from the scene and the network of founders. In addition, the program also provides support so that teams can focus just on building their products and services. So this is a very interesting move by Binance, looking to expand their reach by helping many startups. So we'll see what happens with that, but definitely some interesting news. Coinbase, of course, is back in the news. I think last episode was the first episode I hadn't talked about Coinbase in a while, but they're back in the news, announcing that they started experimenting with new ways for customers to explore and view the top 50 cryptocurrencies by market cap. So some customers currently, so my guess, it doesn't really elaborate, but it must be in some kind of beta form, can now view historic trading data, current market cap, and description of the assets and links to relevant white papers and project websites. The company wants to test various formats and types of information to display. Emphasize that these new asset pages, most of which cover coins not available for trade on Coinbase, it does not mean that Coinbase intends to support any specific asset in the future. Coinbase is very particular about what gets listed on Coinbase. It's very smart. It looks like they're doing that just in case any cryptocurrencies are eventually ruled a security, then they want to protect themselves. The ones that are listed currently have been or will be excluded from being listed as securities. All right, next up, so Iran's central bank figure hints that cryptocurrency ban will end in September. So back in April this year, Iran introduced a blanket ban on trading and has since seen economic turmoil return to its economy with fresh U.S. sanctions and its national currency losing a significant chunk of its value since. So having previously signaled plans to create a national cryptocurrency, the Central Bank of Iran's chief of innovative technologies said regulatory attention would now shift to public crypto assets, which makes sense. Instead of trying to create a cryptocurrency nationally that can be accepted, they would basically stand more ground and be able to move quickly along if they adopt something that's already in use. So it looks like they're probably evaluating a bunch of cryptocurrency assets to see what might meet that. So next up in the news, so Samsung is jumping into the blockchain category. Samsung is looking to streamline its banking with blockchain tools. Samsung SDS, which is a subsidiary of the South Korea tech conglomerate, has developed a blockchain-based certification platform for South Korean banks, it announced Monday. It was developed in collaboration with Korea's Federation of Banks, a platform called BankSign, that's Bank, S-I-G-N, BankSign, is said to make interactions between different banks' mobile systems seamless. Users can carry out transactions on different apps, but the system will require verification from only one app using passwords, fingerprints, or patterns for authentication, news agency reported. So Samsung representatives said the system security ensured by connecting bank systems into the data sharing network, and the certification data within this network can remain valid for up to 3 years. So curious to see where this goes. Samsung being in South Korea, based out of South Korea, which is a huge hub for cryptocurrency, and there's a lot of things going on in the cryptocurrency scene in South Korea. It's going to be interesting to see how Samsung jumps in and gets involved. Having a mobile platform like Samsung, having a huge base of mobile phone users, I am curious to see what kind of tools they will develop for the cryptocurrency space on the mobile devices. All right, so let's move along to crypto education. And I want to start by sharing a quote with you that I found on Twitter recently from one of the crypto profiles that I follow on Twitter. Basically stated, markets do not make bottoms on good news. They make bottoms when they stop going down on bad news. 7 ETFs were rejected recently. China banned crypto-related commercial activities, and Bitcoin did not dump. So what you may have seen as underlying just sideways movement the last few days has really been actually a positive sign, and many bullish indicators we were talking about, that the fact that Bitcoin did not see a big dump with that news shows that the bottom may have already been in, and we could be reversing that trend right now. And then we may, that trend, we talk about reversed at 5,800, 57, 5,800 on Bitcoin, but it may not be confirmed until we can break 7,000, 7,100, and that's what we're looking at. So this is very bullish news when you look at it, from a beginner's eye. You see, hey, the market hadn't moved very much until this evening, but actually we've seen quite a few positive signs, even though the price action hasn't moved. So next up in crypto education, mentioned this on my last episode, and going forward, what I'm going to look at during this is not investment advice. This is just facts and my own personal opinions for entertainment purposes, but I'm going to start giving 1 to 2 different cryptocurrencies that are out there I'm gonna start with some in the top 50 that have real world use cases, real world use products that are already being implemented in different things. That way you can see, okay, what is really driven by speculation and what has real world working projects with real world use cases. So as I mentioned before, this is not investment advice. This is just some information that you may want to look in further, do your own research, dig a little deeper, read the white papers, and do some more research on these cryptocurrencies. First one is the 0x protocol, which has the ticker symbol ZRX. 0x protocol is one of the most important working products in the Ethereum ecosystem. It's a permissionless open source protocol that facilitates trustless exchange of Ethereum tokens through relayers and dApps that build on top of the protocol. Now, Coinbase Pro is built on the 0x protocol, actually. So not only has 0x been providing the functionality for over a year now, they've been working to expand the protocol functionality significantly since initial launch. So it's going to be in future versions, it will be possible to trade tokens built on standards besides ERC20, including non-fungible tokens ERC721. In a market full of scams and vaporware, 0x valuable contributions to the Ethereum ecosystem make it possible as one of the best performing cryptocurrencies of 2018. So moving along, next one up. So BitShares. This is one of my personal favorite. And I started scooping up BitShares about almost a year and a half ago. And BitShares has for a while has already had a working, not only a working product, but one of the fastest and most used blockchains out there. So BitShares aims to provide worldwide access to financial services via the blockchain. The tagline, "Assist the unbanked," summarizes the project nicely. In practice, this translates to BitShares operating as a decentralized exchange, one that was built from the ground up to avoid scalability issues and keep transaction fees low. BitShares was launched in 2014 by Dan Larimer, who would then go on to take a lead development role in both EOS and Steem. So the current state of the project offers decentralized asset exchange, price-stable cryptocurrency, recurring and scheduled payments, user-issued assets, and more, all available through a decentralized system powered by delegated POS consensus. And like I said, this is one of the fastest and most used blockchains out there. Now, BitShares ticker symbol is BTS. It is, so I'll tell you a couple of exchanges where I know ZRX and BTS. ZRX is available for sure on Binance. BitShares is available for sure on Poloniex and Binance. They're both available for purchase with using it against BTC shares. So ZRX BTC and BTS BTC pairs are available for trading if you want to scoop some of these up. I definitely recommend you take a look at more of those. I'm going to throw in a third one today just as a bonus. I mentioned a little bit on the last episode, but BNB, which is Binance Coin. Binance Coin is a coin of the Binance exchange. And this is implemented. It's already got use. It has demand. It's been spent. And it's one of the best performing cryptocurrencies of 2018, even better than ZRX. So Binance Coin is utilized whenever you trade on the Binance platform. You can use the Binance Coin to pay your trading fees, and you get a 50% discount on trading fees. Now that's huge. I mean, there's no reason why you wouldn't want to do that. So every user that gets on Binance for trading, you're going to start seeing the use of the Binance Coin continue to increase, which is why you've seen a lot more stable price action, price growth. And even when the whole market's dumping, Binance, although it has dipped, has not dipped as much as many of the other cryptocurrencies, which has allowed it to be one of the greatest performing cryptocurrencies out there, Binance Coin. All right, so that is it for our episode today. Thank you for listening. All of these articles that we reference are posted on our Facebook page, From No Crypto to No Crypto. Please hop on there, give it a like. Also, when you give it a like, hit the follow button, and there'll be an option to see first, which will allow you to make sure you don't miss any of our posts. We post a lot of crucial information, a lot of important news updates. So if you want to stay in the know, if you click on that, it will make sure that anytime you go onto Facebook, you will see our updates posted. As you know, with the way Facebook operates is you only see a fraction of what gets posted. So if you click follow and then you select the option that says see first, you will always see what we post on that page every time you log into Facebook or open up Facebook app. All right. Also, if you want some more in-depth information, do have a beginner's guide to cryptocurrencies for sale on Amazon. It's a short book, 40-page read that gives you just the basics of what to know, who to follow, and where to do your research when you're getting started in cryptocurrency. A lot of great information there in a very short read. It's available in paperback and Kindle ebook. When you purchase the paperback, you get the Kindle ebook for free, and it's a very low price book, just out there to help you get started and learn the basics. All right, that's it for today. Thank you, everybody, for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode.